In this video, we'll be looking how we represent accounting structures within our EasyAP365 invoice automation application. We'll introduce our concept of categories, relationships between those categories, and options that exist. So the intent of these categories, as we call them within the AP product, is that they represent ultimately the building blocks of not only our system, but the underlying ERP or accounting system. So if I go into our AP automation product and I look at an allocation on an invoice, you can see here I have such things as expense types and departments that are receiving dollar amounts based off of the fixed allocation percentages that are going to them for a given invoice. And as I stated, these are basically configurable, right? Because different implementations will have different, of course, accounting elements and different ways that you're using your ERP application to capture those costs. So to capture those, we have this concept of categories, and they can represent such things as companies, expense types, departments, etc., or projects, and they map to different elements that exist within the ERP application. So for this case, it could be such things as account and company, or cost accounting things such as dimensions. And I can make these required or optional and include them on templates, but I could also define relationships between them. So if I go into the relationships, you can see I could have parent-child relationships and validation that exist between, say, a company and a department, or a department and an expense type. Then within these, I can define options as well. So I go into my category options, we'll see the values associated to these, as well as the accounting element that it represents. So in this case, it's an account, and I could see the account that will ultimately be created and allocated in the ERP application when this invoice is integrated.